All right. Hello, Teaquilters. It's T of Teaquilts. Today is, Wednesday, September 17th, 2025. It is 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, and we're here for live chat. It's 1 hour today, and yeah, what's on my board is one of the piece blocks that I kept forgetting to piece from my happy place. So I came in here a few minutes early and I was piecing part of the section. So that's what's on my board. I'm going to show you what I have done with my happy place. This is actually a border block. So that's why I was in no rush to get it done earlier, but we'll talk about that. But let's see who's in the chat. So tonight we have Sue GSD saying hello, T and quilting family. 300 days until the absolute favorite best quilt retreat ever. I won't be in chat tonight. Other commitments. So thank you, Sue, for coming in here to post that for us. Darcy Savali also here says give T your thumbs up. And if you're new here, subscribe and hit the bell for notifications. Also check out the Facebook group, Teaquilts LLC. Make sure that you answer the 4 questions so that you gain admissions. If you don't see the 4 questions, go request to join, then go out and then request to join again, and then it'll tell you that you need to answer the 4 questions. Otherwise, you won't be admitted into the group. On here live tonight, which is Wednesdays, 7 to 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. Also on Saturdays live, 2 hour sew and chat, where I'm here from 8 to 10 p.m. Central Standard Time. We also have Donette Branson, Brenda Foley, Vivian Calvey. Vivian, if you remember, can you see if you know where that, on the jacket pattern, I can't find my instructions and I want to put it into my quilt show. I need to know what size that circle is, and if you could, and whatever I need to do after I start quilting, if you could just send me that would be great. I really appreciate it. I just can't find my pattern right now, and I need to finish that so I can, because I entered it into our quilt show. Judy Smith is here. Minnie Dula, Ray Mahone, Janice Miller, Francis Jackson, Shelley S5, Linda Parrish, Claudette Hall. Let's see, Linda the Irish Cell Lady, and she is sewing on some jelly roll strips together so I can make something pretty this weekend for Jelly Roll Day. I think I'm gonna have to skip that this time because I got too many things I need to get done for my quilt show. Melissa LePage, Tinanya Edwards, Sandy Agger, Holly Duvall, Michelle the Quilter, Melina Montoya, Sharon Lewis, Peggy O'Connor saying her rent is paid. That means she's hit the thumbs up button. If you haven't, go ahead and hit it now. I would really appreciate it. Let's see, that was Peggy. I don't know if Melissa is talking to me saying congratulations, you are being sponsored by Sewing Parts Online. I don't know if she's talking to me or somebody else. I don't recall having anything with Sewing Parts Online. So tag me in it so I can see what you're talking about. Don Cunningham is here. Don Cunningham is here. That's new. C Joy Creations. Deborah Quilts is here. Diane McCoy, Suzette Peterkin Denton, Carol Williams, Betty Bailey, welcome to the chat, to the live chat. She's in Indiana. Betty says, glad to hear your nice voice. Yeah, so what's going on here today for 1 hour live chat? I didn't really intend to sew until I realized earlier today that I didn't have this block done. So I came in here a little bit early too so that I could start sewing some of the parts, because I couldn't even remember what the last block that I needed to sew looked like. And so I am going to finish this up, and then I am going to I have to make sure my iron don't cut off. I'm going to finish sewing this, and then I can show you everything that I have from my happy place, because the only pieces I'll have to cut after that are borders. So let me sew these, and then we'll go from there, because what I'm making now is really like a 4-patch block, and so all I'm doing now is just sewing these pieces into so that I can make the 4-patch unit. So I've got all the half square triangles, parallelograms, they're done. Thank you, ma'am. You know who you are. Thank you, thank you. Because I really need to, I got stuff I got to do. I still haven't gotten that binding sewed that I'm doing by hand on a bed-size quilt. Our quilt show is next Saturday. This Saturday I have Scrap Quilting Club, and then I also have, I'm supposed to, they scheduled a documentary on that day when I had something else to do. I did explain to her that Saturdays were my busiest days, so it's scheduled for Saturdays. But what I'm going to do is just go to one of them and then not go to the second one. I'm just going to go open up for Scrap Club, get everybody in. I don't have to be there when it first starts, and then I can come in and just do a little thing, and then I can leave. So if I'm a little late, it should be okay. And I got this last one on my board, so I knew which way to sew it. And yeah, and then I had to order a replacement part for my long arm that I use on my long arm, not for the long arm, that I use on my long arm. So we'll talk about that too, because I think sometimes people you don't realize things. You think sometimes when you buy items that you don't have to do any replacement parts. So we'll talk about that too. Francis Jackson is here. Thank you, ma'am. For hitting the thumbs up. Betty says she just finished a lap quilt. What'd she say? Quilting a lap quilt. So that's cool. Bonita Nance is here. Hello to Bonita. On Sunday, we did have Scrap Quilting Club via Zoom for those members. That's a paid group of people. So everybody is not in there, but it's a good chunk of you who are. And we had a project, but I got things I need to be working on, so I am not working on those projects. Matter of fact, I need to do 2 quilt sleeves for the quilts that are going into the show as well. I'm going to sew the quilt sleeves, like the sleeve itself on the sewing machine, but I'm not hand sewing that to the back of the quilt. I'm just going to pin it onto the back. I do that sometimes, and then I can recycle the sleeve. I just pin it with safety pins. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm not sewing that. I'm not doing all of that, because the quilts that are doing that are not going to be hanging where they need a sleeve like that. A permanent sleeve anyway. So this one's like this. Wait a minute. So this to that. And then it would be to that. All right, so I have I guess I need to just cut my thread. I be trying not to cut my thread, but we're at the end of this sewing cycle, so I need to do what I gotta do. And then I'll explain why I got all this fabric up in here too, I guess. That's the cut pieces that were left when I cut chunks of fabric. This is what was left from working on my happy place. Almost all of it is Tula Pink. So I'm just probably gonna make them into some crumb blocks eventually. So that's why that's here. So I can start sewing this all together into whatever, starting with the smallest pieces. So that's what all of this is. I've kind of organized everything by color back into stacks. I haven't put it up yet because I want to make sure I don't need anything later. So, but we'll be talking, I'll be showing you that when I get this block done. Let's see. Hi, Delia Castro Short. Welcome to the chat. And Celeste. Phyllis G, you sent me money. I don't know what it's for. Your retreat's paid in full, so I didn't know what you sent me money for. I sent you an email, but apparently it didn't go through. And somebody is saying that they were blocked from the Sunday Zoom by the host. Did I do something wrong? No, probably was in the wrong, because we talked about you. You might have used the wrong link or something, because I don't block anybody from the Zoom. If I see you waiting, I just let you in. I don't see where I can block somebody from a Zoom. So I don't know why they sent out that message, because somebody else was in the wrong Zoom and they told them that they were blocked. But that's not the Zoom that we were in. So I don't know why they act like it's the host done something to you. I did not. I don't even know how to block somebody out of a Zoom. I just don't let you in. You'll just be waiting if I didn't want you to come in. I let everybody in because I don't know what your iPad, like your device name is. And then if you're not on the list, then I will put you out, but I will let you know that. If you're in something you're not supposed to be in, I will let you know. And I don't think any of you would come into something you're not supposed to be in. So I don't see that as the problem either. So I don't know what happened. We even asked about you. It was funny because you know what? You requested, you're in a different time zone if I'm not mistaken. And you requested after we had already been gone. And we stayed an extra hour in Zoom. I gave them an extra hour. So you requested late, and there's nothing that I can do. It sent me a notice saying that you were wanting to get into Zoom, and I'm like, Zoom is over. So there's nothing that I can do at that point. So you need to make sure that you're using Central Standard Time. That's all for Francis, y'all. Hi, Sheila Willis. Welcome to the chat. Helena Carter is here. And Joanne Parker came in as well. So welcome, welcome, welcome. All right, I got this center seam and then we're done, but I got seam match points. I haven't looked at one of these match points. I'm just sewing like my world is going great. Woohoo. It's going to be what it is because I'm not switching it, okay? We're going to go with it. We're going to go with the flow. Oh, I did cut those dog ears off. Probably would have helped if I left them on there, but you know, they make your seams thick, so I cut them off. The dog ears would have helped here. All right. Press this one, and then we can move forward. Press it flat first. Use my little bitty seam press, and then I don't have to pull the big one into a small space. This seam has, it was really a block that's all half square triangles, but I did convert 2 of them into a parallelogram just so I had one less seam. But I tend to press seams open when they're all half square triangles just to reduce some of the bulk. Okay, Phyllis. Thank you. Cynthia Shades here out of Chicago. And picked up my brother's. Oh, so Helena got her printer, her fabric printer today. I've been really thinking about buying it, but I just haven't bit the bullet because I'm like, you know, I have an Epson printer that worked for about 2 years, if I got that long. Because then I started having a problem with it telling me it's out of ink, although the ink was full. And I had bought one replacement set of inks in that time. And I really liked the printer itself, but it just wasn't recognizing the ink. And it's just sitting there like a big old paperweight. So I guess I could put one there if I toss it. But I've been trying to figure out, like, where am I going to put a printer, you know? And I probably wouldn't do that. I would put my laser printer on my desk and then put that printer where the laser printer is, because I tend to put my daily printer next to my desk so I don't have to get up and go to the printer to get it when I'm printing. But yeah, so I have to think about that. I've been looking at that. I didn't want to be in the first grouping of people to buy it because I didn't want to buy one and then have to get the kinks out, because I think now it's been out about a year-ish, somewhere in that neighborhood. So yeah, I was buying time. I know I know some of my quilty acquaintances, not necessarily friends, have it, and I've just been waiting for them to get any bugs out that they had. So let's start with my happy place. All right, I'll start with these blocks since they are up here, and I'm just going to put a pin in here so when I move it, it doesn't fall off the board. And over there, I'm just going to stick a pin in it. So this is the block that I just finished. It is a block that's in my happy place, except that they had 16 half square triangles, and what I did was reduced 4 half square triangles and made them parallelograms so that I would have one less seam that I had to match up, because otherwise this all through here would have had to match too. So I didn't even look at it. It looks pretty good to me. I'm not taking it out no matter what. So that's one of my border blocks, and I have shown the other 3 blocks when I first started this, because this was I did the sewing machine block, and then these blocks were done second. It was, I don't know, 12 of them, and I cut all 12 of them out, but I somehow forgot to sew the 12th block because I started putting pieces together. And then this one here, I just fussy cut this little alligator in the middle. Using all Tula pinks. And then whenever necessary, if I can't get any value or need something solid, then I'll use a grunge. I don't know which way this block goes, but we're just going to put it up here. Let's see, it probably goes this way because I'm looking at the background fabric. So this is also one block. These are all going to be in the border. And then the last block, all part of the pattern, I think. I don't know about this one, but it might be. And we got this one. Trying to make sure I put them on here right sides up. Hi, Jan F. Welcome to the chat. And then this is the last one that's my border blocks. Now, I could change the border, but I'm not because really I'm over this. You know, normally I do whatever I want to do in the border of a quilt, but I'm just going to do exactly what she said. And that's just 2 plain borders. And so I will show you what I have. I'm just going to temporarily put this up there. Okay, I'm not going to show you the bottom half of the quilt with the sewing machine down. You all have seen that already. And I want to show you, I was working on blocks before. So I wanted to show you the blocks. So remember I had made the little mini churn dash block. And then I cut the remaining pieces out on Saturday. So in the Zoom, I went ahead and made the rest of this block. So what I was doing with that churn dash block was making a quilt that's on a clothesline, hanging outside in the sun. So the block is this aqua background, I guess. So that's that block. Remo is here reminding you all to hit the thumbs up button, please. Thank you, Michelle says, I love all of these nice colors. And Joanne saying, that's a great idea to reduce some bulk in a pattern. I will have to try that. Beautiful blocks. Thank you. Yes. You know, people will give you instructions for how to do something. And if I see something and I want to do it different, I do it different. I even replace some blocks because I got tired of making the star block that had either it changed by the value or it had a 9 patch in the middle, 4 patch in the middle, pinwheel in the middle. I got tired of making that block. So I started making a couple of different blocks that I put into the quilt already. But so this is my clothesline block. Hi, Lana Dean. Welcome. People saying they love this block. So thank you. Thank you. So then I knew I was having Zoom on Sunday. And if I'm going to work on something, it needs to be something that I got to get done. This quilt's supposed to be done by the 2nd Saturday in December. So I decided to work on this. So I decided I was going to do another traditional block because I got tired of working with this lady's patterns. I just hadn't got any of them to be the right size, and I had been making all of them in 6-inch size. So this time I made a 12-inch block instead of 6 inches. So I made a traditional block. Let me find it. I'm just trying to show you what I want to show you at the time, you know. And it's going to be a little difficult. Hope I don't wrinkle it up too bad, but it's okay. An iron won't hurt it, you know. So then I cut the pieces out and made this block here that I also made in Zoom on Sunday. And I just took this pattern, came out of Electric Quilt, and this is a 12-inch block. So I didn't do anything fancy here. This one is a 12-inch block. So I was going to do like additional 7 blocks. So this would have been 2. And then I was like, you know what? We're going to make some bigger blocks and we're going to get this thing done because I'm sick of working with my happy place. It is my happy place, but I'm sick of it, okay? Because it takes a lot of time, takes a lot of planning. I've been doing a lot of paper piecing. That takes a whole lot of piecing. And so I'm kind of getting tired of it right now. I don't know why Jan's messages are being held for review. She says she loves the 12-inch block. So what I did was I took the remaining space that I had left. I had to add a strip here and a strip here. And I had to add another strip, but I'm going to show you the last 2 blocks. Let me open it up. And then I'll show you the whole thing. So this is the piece I added. And then I'll fold it back to where everything that I added recently. So you're going to be looking at the back of the quilt a little bit. So I ended up saying, you know, we have baskets of things that are just laying around. So then I was still in electric quilt, and I was like, because I had just pulled up about maybe 10 blocks that I could possibly use. And then at the last minute, I was just like, pick 2 and go, girl. So I said, we have baskets of things that we have scraps and sort things into. So I said, let's put some baskets in there. So I ended up making 2 baskets. The basket blocks were square, and my space was rectangular, and it wasn't like square rectangular even, like 2 squares would make the same rectangle. So what I did, especially if you are using the electric quilt, it's so easy to do, is that instead of making my block square, I made my block rectangular. So I needed a block that finished 11 by 12 instead of 12 by 12. So I ended up using this basket block. It was a perfect candidate. You'd never know that this block was modified. Matter of fact, I kind of like it. I can't see what you're seeing. And then in order for me to put this piece in here, I had to do a partial seam with this piece right here to get this to fit into that spot, because this is part of the grass up here that's much bigger. So I did have to do some partial piecing to get this strip in to make sure that everything worked out. So on the first basket I cut, I thought like I could put stuff in it, but I'm not doing any sewing notions. So I just caught myself putting some flowers in there, and then when I made it, I go, oh, okay, that's a little bit too busy. So then on the second one, I just put the background fabric in there. And if I ever want to later, I can put like some yo-yos or something on here once it's quilted. But it's done. And I wasn't redoing this, taking it out, none of that. I was like, I'm over it. So this is the whole entire top row, and you're not going to be able to see it. That's the problem with my room. It's very tiny. So I will show you. This is Millie's dresses. I still have patterns if people want to purchase Millie's dresses. Have 2 pair of scissors. That's the same lady that had the clothesline thing, but I'm not really a fan of the small blocks because I think that they're not really to size, because when she designed it, EQ or whatever she's using, sized up or down, and it needs to be bigger because I've been having issues with size. This one here, I can't remember. I think this, I don't know where I got this one from right now. This spools and scissors, or whatever it's called, scissors and spools. I have that pattern still for sale if anybody needs it. This is also a pattern, the books. I don't know if I have any in stock to sell of that one. And then this is the rest. So let me show you the end. So this is my whole entire row. So all I have to do is sew this top to the bottom, and I stopped because I knew I wasn't going to be able to hold this up in here for you all to see. So that's why I stopped and waited. And I'm also trying to figure out borders. So I'm thinking my first border is going to be this gray. I didn't use it anywhere in the quilt, so it should stand out instead of using one of the light prints that I've already used. And then the second border will be this, which is the same fabric as in the clothespin background, but a darker hue. I don't think I've used this in the quilt either. I'm hoping I didn't. If I did, it's fine. I'm going to use it again. Yeah, that's light. I'm trying to see what did I put down here. Yeah, that's light too. So they're all light. I used all of this in there. I didn't use any of this one. So this is going to be my final border with these blocks in the corner. So I'm glad I'm getting close to getting it done. For those that don't know what my happy place is, I have substituted a lot of blocks. And so it does not look like Lori Holt's quilt, but it's my happy place. I'm just gonna put this up here and just show you Lori Holt's cover so people can see what the original quilt looks like. I didn't want to do any applique. She also was doing like hand embroidery and stuff like that. I didn't want to participate in that. So I just chose to, whenever there were blocks like that, and even I didn't even do the spools. So the spools at the top, those 5, those are pieced, but I had already filled the space with Millie's dresses and the scissors that were underneath, and it was big enough to fill that spot. So I just said, okay, I guess we're not using that either. So just for those, this was a free, you're not getting instructions. They'll tell you what to cut for your piece blocks. And then, you know, a lot of it is applique. So you need to buy templates if you want to do it. Because there's nowhere you're going to get paper templates. You have to buy the templates from Fat Quarter Shop. One of the ladies in the group did buy the templates, so I could have used hers if I wanted to, but I chose not to do any of that. Matter of fact, one lady bought the templates. Somebody else bought the whole kit, so they bought whatever's in here. And their quilts are beautiful. I have to give it to them. Their quilts are beautiful. I just didn't have the time nor patience for all of that hand applique. So I'm getting close to getting that done. And now it can sit. Now that I don't have a whole lot of pieces, all I got is border pieces, 2 for the inside, and those 4 blocks. So that's it. I feel better. I feel like I can get 2 borders put on a quilt by December. I just have September is one of the worst months ever. I thought retreat month was, but with us having a documentary coming out, that was one of my main issues, was the documentary taking up more time than I allocated to it. And then also I am the chairperson of our Quilt Guild's quilt show. And it all was kind of planned last minute because we had a difficult time. I've been talking to you all for months. You all know that I was trying to find somebody to rent us the poles that you put your quilts on, and people were giving us quotes that were ridiculous for such a small show. We've had bigger shows that have cost us less money. The last time in 2019 that we purchased poles for a show that's bigger, 2017 and 2019, it was like 2017, which is when we had our larger show. We spent about $2,500. 2019 we went to a smaller place and we spent about $2,200. When we were getting quotes, I was getting like $7,000, and I'm like, we don't have $7,000 for a quilt show. So there was no need in moving forward if we didn't even know if we were going to have a show, because we had a hard time getting standards. And that didn't happen until June or July, if I'm not mistaken. So basically, I'm trying to plan a whole quilt show in 2 months, as well as run Teaquilts business, be on here with you all, have all the Zoom things I'm supposed to have, do a documentary. My birthday stuff was also part of that. It's a lot going on, and yeah, I just don't know whether I'm coming or going sometimes, but I got a lot to do. Michelle says, love the spool and books. Yeah, I had fun making that. Wow, you got a lot done. Yes. So your happy place is really that quilt that you're making. Yes, it's stuff that pertains to me, because Millie's dress, of course, is not in there. Even though it's a Lori Hope pattern, it's not in there. I just had purchased it to make it in African fabrics and thought, oh, I was a seamstress and I used to make dresses for me and my daughter all the time. So I go, I'm gonna put one in my quilt. So that's why Millie's dresses is inside of my happy place. It just reminded me of the dresses I used to make. Love your color choice, T. Thank you, Diane. Helena says, can you give info on what e-quilt is and where to buy? I'm not familiar with it. Electric quilt. E-quilter is abbreviation for electric quilter, but they do call it e-quilter. You can go to their website. I have an affiliate link. Most times you can probably get it cheaper on their website. If you can't, if they don't have it on sale, then you can use my affiliate link. They're all in the Facebook group. Or probably down in the YouTube, in the description box of the YouTube. But it's a program where you can design your own blocks, and or you can pull up traditional blocks, and then you can make them in any size you want. Like with me doing this quilt, and I needed that block to be 11 by 12. If I was trying to do that by myself, then it would have been very difficult for me to try to figure out how to get rid of an inch on the block and still have the block be, what do you call it? Like when you increase and reduce some of the proportions, you want to make sure the proportions stay the same. So also, if a pattern is paper piece, I don't have to try to draw it out full size and then cut it apart so I can do the paper piece. I can have the software also paper piece, but you can design entire quilts. Even you can design piece sashings if you want. You can do whatever you want in there. It is a learning curve, but I feel like the version that they have is one of the easiest versions that they've ever had. But there is a learning curve when you first get it, but don't panic, because it all goes in a row, but it doesn't seem like it should be working like that, but that's how it is. So it kind of looks strange when you first open it. You have to do some reading when you first get it so you know how to operate, or look at a couple of videos. I have some starter videos on electric quilt. I was doing it, but nobody was watching them, so I stopped recording them. I think I had done about 2. Hey, Kevin the Quilter. He's in El Paso, Texas. Good Lord. He gonna come back a country boy. Oh, he's flying to San Antonio. All right. Hi, Ingrid Sews It All. Welcome to the chat. So that's it for my happy place. At least I don't have a gazillion pieces anymore. So that's the main thing. And I'm trying to put my pieces, my blocks, back into the bag down here so I don't lose them. Those pieces anyway. One thing I wanted to talk about on the long arm is, and I didn't even open it up, I use Leader Grips, which is the original company that came out with the fast way of putting your quilts onto your frame. Now, some people use Red Snapper. The lady used to work for Leader Grip. And you wonder why she has a company, huh? But I do have a friend. I have used Red Snappers because I have a friend that had Red Snappers. And I didn't like them. Now, I don't know if they've been redesigned, but I just personally went and bought the original Leader system. So this is replacement parts, not the whole entire system. So I want to explain that. That's why I'm opening it here. I forgot about this box wasn't open. It came, was it today or yesterday? I think today. I didn't realize they got to tape the whole side. I did not realize that. I would have worked on it a little bit. But yeah. So, on the inside, on your leaders, which is what you normally pin your quilt to. I'm going to be throwing this away so I don't need it. Now I just got the corners, I guess. I thought I went down this corner, but I guess I didn't. You put a rod inside of your leader, and they send the rod, I think, in 2 parts, if I'm not mistaken. And then you have this tape that you put them together and tape. And I've had my leader grips since 2015, well, I say 2016 maybe. I got my machine in 2016, so maybe 2017 I got my leader grip system. So inside of my leader grip system, that was good sound effects. I have these blue poles, and then I'm trying not to hit the ceiling fan too. And then should be one more piece in here. All right. So then you have a pole in there, and then these pieces, which I'm going to show you smaller pieces. I'm not going to show you the larger pieces. I ended up buying, since I was ordering anyway, I'm always short like 4 inches, and then I have to use a whole 22-inch piece. So I bought these 12-inch pieces. So this is the same size. So they come, when you get your system, you can tell them how many poles, how many pieces you want, and then they price it according to that. But this has like a channel groove right here. My finger is in there. And then this goes around the rod. And the reason why I'm showing you this is because a lot of people don't tell you that eventually these will stretch out. Or if you decide you're gonna quilt some minky backing, these or flannel, they're going to stretch these out. And then when you go back to putting your 100% cotton on, it won't stay. It'll come off the leader while you're quilting if you're not careful. So I always, every couple of years or so, I will make sure that I get new ones. I take the ones that I'm currently using on cotton, switch them over to thicker backing for my minky or flannel, and then I pitch the ones that I have that say minky and flannel, and then I'll write minky on the new one, the ones I'm using now. I'll write minky on those. So I got the long ones replaced. My 24 inches I had replaced 2 years ago, but they weren't really bad when I replaced them, so I haven't even used all of those. So I think I'm okay with those. So I ordered the long ones, these 10-inch grips, because I told you all I have been like 5 inches short sometimes, and I like to have at least 5 inches over as well onto the leader by itself, just to make sure it's not going to pull out because it's right on the edge. So I always try to make sure that I have an extra 5 inches. So I got these 10-inch grips, and then I also used their side clamps, and I ended up getting a pack of those. Wait a minute. So this is the sides, the 10-inch. Actually, the ones I got are 12 inches. No, this is for the sides. It's 4 of them in a pack. And it used to be that we had to buy the whole side clamp every time we needed it, but now they just sell the replacement grip. So I'm really happy with that, because the poles themselves never go bad. It's what you're clamping onto it because of how thick fabric is. So yeah, so this is my sides. This is the sides. These are the 4 that goes with this, because they are different sizes, I think. But yeah, so I just wanted to talk about that, so people that know when you buy stuff like red snappers and things like that, that you're possibly going to be needing to replace some of those parts. And then the other thing I did was I got an order in. I also got a quilter's Quilt Maker magazine today in the mail. Now, I started receiving this eons ago, over 10 years ago, from this lady that in my scrap club that would send it to me every year. The last, I'd say, 3 or 4 years, I have thanked her at Christmas for continuing my subscription, and she tells me that she hasn't paid for that. She said, I haven't paid for that in years. And I go, well, they're still sending it. So I look on the, magazines they normally have when your subscriptions expire. I can't tell when this so-called subscription that I have expires. So anyway, I got that magazine. I haven't even opened it. It actually came in a bag. So maybe, now that I think about it, I should have turned it to the back because I haven't had time to read it. I should have looked at the back because it's in a bag. Like, why are you in a bag? Maybe there's something in there about renewing or something, but I'm not gonna renew because I don't hardly read them like I used to. But I got from Checker, I got issue number 35 for Virginia. Let me get my hands off for Quilt Folk. So I will be reading this though. I think when I go to Houston, I'm gonna put this in my bag so I can read while I'm flying. So I got Quilt Folks. Issue number 35 is Virginia. And then the other thing, I ordered numerous of the calendars. I told you all because I had some people interested in calendars before. And I told you all to wait until I got the next one. So let me pull up this one because I left them in here. I opened one. So I have Patchwork Place calendar for 2026, and they have quilt patterns in here. So they have a quilt pattern booklet in here for the patterns that are included, and these are 20 bucks. I bought these to see if they would sell also at the quilt show, and then now I'm gonna open up one. And this one is the one that I normally get every year, and it has patterns included as well. Let me make sure they didn't change up because they could have. Yes, there's patterns in here as well. The Art of Quilt is the name of this one. And then on the back, these are the quilts. They're kind of in like seams. I know you can't see them all with my hand and all of that. Let me try the bottom, see if it'll work better. But these are the patterns. So yeah, I had purchased this one last year, and so I thought this one would be really cool, and so I ordered, I think, like an AQS one, but then I saw they had Patchwork Place this year, so I ordered it. And I've been trying to look to see when calendars were coming in so I could get them early, because I'm normally ordering like November, because I didn't know they had a calendar, and so it's never available. So I was able to get both of these, so I will be selling these too. So these two are mine. I guess I can use them as a demo as well, so people can see what they look like. So and I think that's all that's in here, because I had ordered the calendars. They were on back order, and I think I ordered 20 and 20, and let's see, I got 20 calendars here, and I don't know how many are over here. Let's see real quick. I couldn't even pick that up. It's so heavy. It's paper. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I ordered 10. So I ordered 30 calendars. That's what I did. Oh, excuse me. The the Art of the Quilt, the one that I just showed you first, that one's actually $18. The Patchwork Place one is $20. I'll probably just put them all at 20 bucks to make my life easier at the when I sell them at the quilt show. And I'll be giving discounts off anyway. So, yeah. So let's see what else is in here. Zandra came in. Happy Place quilt is so cute. My mother was a Millie. I must order the pattern. Sewing room is my happy place too. Yes. I watch your EQ videos and enjoyed them. It helped me understand the software a bit better. Yes. Because I was going to go all into like, I can't remember. I have to go back and look myself. So maybe when I get some time, I'll go back and look myself and see what I actually talked about on Electric Quilt. Because I can't even remember what I explained. But I know that I had like, at the time, I had about 2 or 3 people telling me that they really helped them and they appreciate them and they wanted me to continue going. But I was, at the time, I'm putting a video out and like a week later, I still only got like about 30 views on the video. So I was like, I can't do that. It's a waste of my time. So I just stopped doing it because it's a lot of work. Because when I was doing the Electric Quilt videos, I was having to record my screen, and now I got a new desktop. I don't even think I have software. I have to go buy software and all of that again, because none of it is transferable. Woo, woo, woo. Betty says, I'm 75, so in my 1950s, my mother's wore that style of dress, so that's cool. Hi, Wanda Jamerson. Welcome to the chat. Sometimes I get my magazine in a bag and not. Yeah, I was just, most of the time they do that. It's like they got some subscription renew, because my latest magazines have been arriving tore up. It's like if these people cannot even put our magazines in a bag and the post office is tearing them up, then what's the point of me paying for them? So I really don't pay for any subscriptions, and I used to subscribe to 2 and 3 magazines at a time. Remo says she gets Quilt Folks too. Thank you, Benita. Says I was washing dishes. All the blocks are beautiful. Thank you. Hey, Yolanda. Welcome. Said her rent is paid. Remo saying something about you can pay $34 to migrate to another computer. It depends on what software it is. You know, everything is not. I have a Windows-based system. I don't know nothing about that with Apple. She used a lot of Apple products. But my desktop, yeah, I don't know. When I first got my other desktop that I replaced, it came on there free in a version that was like already 3 or 4 versions behind, because they're not going to give you the current version and then you upgrade. I upgraded about 3 times, and that's what I added my software in. That's what I added pictures in, and music. And I'm just going to have to, and I went back to go get an upgrade from them, and everything now is subscription based, and it just irks me that I can't buy software that I'm going to pay for it until I die. It makes absolutely no sense to me. I'm a little bit upset about that, because I just like buying my stuff and then I'm done. I don't want to be paying or having subscription things that I'm paying every month. It's just irritating. But a lot of the companies are going to that. So it's kind of out of my control. I wasn't editing my pictures in there. I edited my pictures in a software that was old that I had purchased, and now I've got to also pay for an editor every month. Everything is pay every month now. It's ridiculous. You can't just download software and be done. So I don't use Apple. I just use Apple to record you guys. when I'm, well, to record me for you guys when I'm live. Otherwise, I don't use Apple. Only time I use Apple product is when I'm traveling and I take it with me, and then I play. I have some games on there I'll play for entertainment purposes. I have also my Kindle. I use it for reading books. Other than that, I don't use Apple products. All my products are Windows-based, Android-based. Android phones, Windows desktop computer, Windows laptop. So I don't really have Apple products like that. So I don't know anything about migrating to Windows because I'm already over on Windows. My issue is that, you know, it's an older system, and so I've got to rebuy all the software that I need. I bought the machine probably a year and a half ago now, because it took me almost a year to put it up, to put the new one up. But yeah, so it is what it is. We got like 3 minutes, guys. Hey, Sean, welcome. So I don't use anything on Apple. All my stuff, all my files are saved on external hard drives, backed up on external hard drives, and I have my own files in my control. I still got all my music files up in iTunes from when I used to teach line dancing. It's like I need to go up there and download all that stuff back. But I can't even remember that password. I have to go through the process of getting that password. So, but yeah. So I think that's going to be it. I don't see any other comments. Make sure before you leave that you hit the thumbs up button. Hopefully I'll be able to come in here Saturday, because Saturday's going to be a busy day. And I'm hoping that I can do the live. If I don't do the live, I'll come live anyway at my regular time and just tell you that I'm about to leave. But I will come on. But Saturday is going to be another one of those busy days. I was so busy last week, and I only had one thing to do, although we had to be there super early, and then we stayed late because we were greeting folk. On this one, I got Scrap Club and a documentary viewing. They got 2 on Saturday, but I'm only doing 1. And yeah, so we'll see how tired I am Saturday when I come in here. If I'm tired, I'll just be sitting here talking to you all as long as you all are talking to me in this chat. And then when that dries up, then I'm going to leave if I'm tired. So we'll see what status I'm in at that point. So, yeah. So again, on your way out, make sure that you guys hit the thumbs up button. I would really, really appreciate it. I will see you all Saturday, 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. Normally 2-hour live sew and chat, okay? No Zoom, because I'm going to be working on my guild show. There's not going to be any Zoom. I was trying to get a Zoom in for Exploding Star, but that's okay. We'll put it in October or something, because I can't do it now. And I will see you all Saturday, 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. You all stay blessed. Be safe, everyone. And quilt out.